you doing, guys? Today we are taking advantage of some warm weather. Yesterday was cold and rainy. Tomorrow is supposed to be cold and rainy, but today it's warm and sunny. So I had, over the last week, prepped my parts for paint. I got to get this engine painted. So I jammed the insides of the blower tins red. I got the grass screen finished, the governor arm, some throttle and choke linkage, the oil dipstick tube has been painted. I also painted the flywheel. I know, easy does it on the people that don't like the color. 95% of this gets covered up with the blower cover and then the cooling fins, the plastic cooling fins. So you only see basically this little piece through the red grass screen and the black. It'll look real good. I did it on a couple of my other tractors and I liked the way it looks. I got the engine block outside, so let's head out there and take a look. So there it is. It's all in etch primer. I did prime the bolts and the adapter plate a little bit. I'm just waiting for it to flash. And then we are going to dig into it with the red paint. And what we're using today is, that's not it. Where the heck did I put it? Oh, you know what it is? It's in the garage. Hang on. This is what we're using. Using the duplicolor engine paint. And we're using DE, what the heck number is that? It's DE1653 red. I find that this color in particular is about as close to a wheel horse color red that's in a can. Also, it's a durable paint. If gas gets on it, stuff like that, I don't usually have a problem. And if you build it up high enough, which you got to be careful about, let it dry enough, enough dry time, maybe like 2 or 3 days, you can actually wet sand and buff this paint with success. If you remember my RJ35 build, or RJ25 build, where I made the fiberglass hood, blocked it all down, painted it, and then wet sand buffed it, which is in my the RJ35 that's in my intro. This is the paint I used. I used duplicolor paints and just wet sand and buffed it. Now, I'm not going to wet sand and buff these parts. These are all good enough, and I'm not going to obviously wet sand and buff the inside of the tins, but I'll probably wet sand and buff the outsides of the tins, just so it has a nice clean look. So what else do I... Oh, hang on. So the bodywork on the blower cover is essentially finished. I have it in primer filler right now. I'm letting that harden up, or dry, I should say. It's not two-stage. There's no activator in it. It's just out of a can. So once that dries, I'll wet sand that down smooth, and then we'll prime the whole blower cover all at once to get one nice surface to it. And then it's ready for red paint. All right, I'm going to get out back, start painting that motor, and then we'll go from there. So after 3 coats of paint, the engine is all set to go. Looks good. I really should remember after all these years, but I just don't, that this particular area I find the hardest spot to actually paint. I went in there heavy, got a couple runs. Oh well, what are you going to do? Once the paint kind of shrinks up a little bit over the course of time and you get a couple heat cycles, you won't even notice the runs. They'll all kind of dissipate and melt in. The only place I go really kind of heavy with the paint, I don't even want to say heavy, but I go a little heavy-handed compared to the rest of the fins. It's just right in this area because you see them. There's a tin here, tin here, tin here. The rest of the fins, I just coat them with a light coat of red paint just so they're red. If you remember, or if you know or don't know, who knows, the more paint you put on the fins, the less efficient they are to cool. So I try not to put too much paint on the fins. It doesn't really matter how much paint you put right around the port. Eventually all the paint's going to come off. It's going to rust. If you run these engines, that's what's going to happen. So I put a good coat on there, but eventually it's all going to come off. We got all these areas nice. I did the back area a little bit. I did tape off the bearing plate for the most part, so when I pull all that paint off, it should be all nice raw aluminum. If there's any little bit of overspray, I'll just take a little touch of lacquer thinner, and the lacquer thinner will just pull this engine paint off. All right, let me see what's next. There it is. Came out pretty good. I'm happy with the way it's laid out. I did pull off some of the tape just to take a look at how it looks. Don't mind the fuel pump block-off plate. That's just there temporary. I have a new Kohler one that's anodized gold. I'll put that on in maybe tonight. But the bearing plate masking I took off, that's all out of the way. Looks good. I'm happy with it. And as you can tell, the new wiring for the tractor is all done. The cover for the electrical box there is downstairs drying. I painted it black. All new wiring in there. Came out real nice. Looks a lot better. Everything is coming along. All right, guys. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will see you soon. Have a good day. Thanks.